4:41 in the morning here. Obviously, you probably are aware that there has been a preemptive strike by Israel on Iran. I believe that this had to happen. Tehran wasn't negotiating in good faith. They never do. They always string things out. They make things go longer and longer. We headed to our airport because we have a flight. We were supposed to have a flight at 6 a.m. And so we woke up at 2 to get ready. Karen and I and the film crew has a later flight, or did have a later flight. We got about halfway to Tel Aviv airport, and all of a sudden we started hearing air raid sirens, but we didn't get any notifications on our phone where we have an app that alerts us to incoming potential threats, missiles, drones. And I thought that was weird that we didn't get that. And then all of a sudden, the emergency alert system, like we have at home for a tornado, lights up on our phones and on my watch, but it was all in Hebrew. So we weren't certain what was going on. We continued to drive to the airport because very few people were pulling over with the siren. And we got all the way to the airport and we waited in this long line for security, which is very common in Israel. And when we got there, the guard started speaking to us in Hebrew. I said, English, and he said, "I'm sorry, the airport is closed. There are no flights until further notification." He didn't give us any more information, and he just waved us through. So we had to do a full circle. I did a Instagram while we were driving through the airport. The airport's kind of packed because a lot of people were probably getting to the airport for flights or maybe coming in, and they didn't know what to do. What's odd is, though, I hear a lot of noise. So behind me, this is the old city of Jerusalem. If you can see, maybe we can try to zoom in a little bit or bring the camera closer and show you the old city of Jerusalem. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. Here we go. Okay, so what you see is sunrise, just starting to dawn. Iran is off in that direction. Yemen is off in that direction. And the other day, when we had the sirens, at least the alerts on our phone going off, the interception was right up there that we saw. We didn't actually see the interception, but we did see the aftermath of it. So let me see if I can zoom in. That's not let me zoom in, but if you can see directly ahead, that is the Dome of the Rock. By the way, I just saw Joe that's saying praying for Israel. We appreciate all of your prayers. You guys have been amazing. But from what I understand, is there was a some sort of an interception that happened as Israel was doing the strike, and I don't know the details of that. We didn't see anything in the sky, but I think that's what that siren was. Maybe Israel, as they were going in, probably doing the attack around 2 a.m. here. It would have been maybe, I don't know the exact time change, but probably 3 or 4 a.m. in Tehran. So, in the middle of the night, Israel's going to strike. We had been hearing a lot of people saying that this was likely to happen soon because of the United States getting non essential people out of the embassies and bases. But I kind of wondered if that was a tactic to get Iran to be more serious with negotiations. But again, I don't think anything was going to stop Iran from this nuclear weapon. And, Israel knew it for sure that this was really, really close and this had to be dealt with. Israel is vulnerable. If Iran ever got a nuclear weapon, it would be absolutely horrible. So let me just kind of go over what I know. And again, we're just hearing information. You guys might know as much as I do. Being in Israel doesn't necessarily help to get information quicker, but I do hear a lot of people and noise. I wonder if Israel is. I'm guessing Israel's worried, but also kind of glad that hey, we finally did something to make sure that Iran couldn't attack Israel in a devastating way. Now, here's the bottom line for us. We're going to be in Israel probably for a number of days. We're going to try to assess what we're going to do next. Karen and I were supposed to fly at 6 a.m. on El Al to Krakow, and then from Krakow to Chicago on a lot flight. Um, the airport's closed, all flights are canceled. I think we saw somewhere that they would give us 5 hours warning when they opened the airport. But even then, we went ahead and canceled our Krakow Chicago because that was a separate reservation. I wanted to try to get the miles back that we used for that, and so we did cancel that. The film crew has a flight at 8 p.m. today through Abu Dhabi, so maybe we'll join them if the airport reopens. I'm guessing this is going to be a prolonged thing, a number of days at least. There's different options that we have. We were able to, some time ago, meet with a high level former United States, I would say high level official, become friendly with him, and he had diplomatic security. And the diplomatic security said, if you ever are in trouble anywhere in the world, here's our number. We have people everywhere in the world. We can help you. So I kind of have that as a backup plan. I really think we're in a safe place. Why? Because this is Jerusalem. There's a large Arab population in East Jerusalem. I don't think even Iran would attack the city of Jerusalem on purpose. Now, maybe they would. I'm not saying they wouldn't. And I know that the massive barrage of missiles that Iran has already sent to Israel months ago, probably, I know they had interceptions over Jerusalem. So anyways, we're uncertain what we're going to do. Maybe you guys give me some comments, Paul or Gabe, if we have people, what are people saying? Just kind of read to me some of the comments that are on our channel. We appreciate all of your comments. If you have any questions, it is currently 4:48 in the morning here. We're trying to figure out what we're going to do, but we know Israel did a preemptive strike. They were very surgical. Iran thought they could defend their positions, but Israel was able to take out their anti-aircraft missiles, the advanced system from Russia. Israel had no problem taking that out. And so Israel targeted, as I understand, the nuclear enrichment facilities and also maybe some army officials. So we're getting bits and pieces, unverified stuff. But we do believe that Israel has done what they needed to do to stop the nuclear weapon program in Iran. So this is definitely something that had to happen. It's something that definitely could spiral. And if you have allies of Iran, which you do, you have Turkey, you have Russia, maybe China, North Korea, who knows what this could lead to? We know that the Bible predicts in Ezekiel a massive attack from the north by a coalition of governments and a few other countries, and God miraculously spares Israel. We don't know what this is all going to lead to. A lot of people are very, very worried. And here's what I'll just say: Karen and I would say we're concerned. Our trip was over. We had gotten all the filming done. We had amazing things happen here, and heading to the airport, and then this news. So it's not like we're like, oh, everything's great. But I don't feel panicked. I don't feel worried. I appreciate all of you contacting us and saying, hey, we're praying for you. I had some dear friends. When I first woke up this morning, I saw a text from a dear friend that we'd recently filmed with. And he said, hey, I'm hearing this out of Israel. You have just a few hours to get out. And sure enough, he was right. We didn't have quite enough time. Anyways, no big deal. We're safe. We're fine. We have a beautiful place that we're staying in with this incredible view over the old city of Jerusalem, the Temple Mount right behind me, the Dome of the Rock. I don't know how well you can see it, but it is a gorgeous, actually sunrise. So maybe just kind of aim the camera a little bit to the left. You see the sun starting to come up over there in the east. If you were looking straight east from here, you'd see the Dead Sea. You'd see the Mount of Olives, and then below the Mount of Olives on a clear day, you could see the Dead Sea and the mountains of Moab, which is in Jordan. But who knows? Who knows what this is all going to lead to? But I feel like the safest place in the world is in Israel, because there's a Bible prophecy that says that Iran will be destroyed. And there's many Bible prophecies that say that Israel has an eternal future and Jerusalem has an eternal future. So I am not fearful of Iran, although Iran could hurt Israel. Israel has strong missile defense systems. Some of them are ours, some of them are Israel's. It's a good combination that they call Iron Dome. We have seen that one interception, which I think was a American THAAD missile, and we have provided Israel with our missile technology, which are for like the longer range, faster ballistic missiles. And then Israel has an amazing technology to cover their shorter range missiles. Drones have been problematic because drones can change their trajectory where missiles are pretty much going to go where they think they're going to go. So drones have been a little more hard to track and to shoot down, which seems odd to me because they're slower. But anyways, Israel, I think, is in a good position to continue to protect the homeland, to protect the people. We just heard those one siren as we were driving to the airport, and it was kind of like the air raid sirens. And then right after that, we got this alert on our phone and our watches. It was kind of like what you would see in the United States if there's a tornado or something like that, and everyone's phone's going off. And we hadn't seen that happen in Israel yet. That was the first time. We have an app called Zofar, and Zofar did not alert us to any missiles, but the siren and then that emergency signal and the emergency notification was all in Hebrew. So it took us a bit to get Google Translate open and to read it. And it was basically, didn't give us much information. It was just, hey, here's a general issue. Something's happening in Israel, and everyone just kind of stay at home. So we haven't had to go. We do have a shelter here in this apartment. This is a brand new building. It's a beautiful building. Every apartment in Israel, sadly, has to have a bomb shelter. So we have one. And if we felt threatened, we can go into that. And I feel 100% safe. I'm not worried. I'm kind of sad because we were hoping to see our grandkids. I was scheduled to do a funeral on Saturday for a dear friend. I don't think I'll be able to get home for that. But again, God's in control. We have great people running the church and the ministries, the summer camps at our church. Again, I'm not saying I want to be here a long time, but if we truly believe that God is good and He's in control, He knew that we'd be here for this. I also had originally planned to be here all the way to Saturday and leave on Saturday morning to go home. And I had rented the apartment through Saturday and the rental car. Well, when I changed the flight to Friday to get home for a funeral, the person renting us the apartment through VRBO said, no, I can't shorten it. You're gonna have to pay for Saturday, whether you're there or not. And I was kind of mad, and now I'm kind of happy. You know how kind of God knows what's going on, and He kind of gives you, and that gives us a little bit of time to think through what our next steps will be. So what are your comments? What are your questions? Can you guys feed me some of the things people are saying?
One of the questions is, did you have any idea this was going to be happening today?
Okay, so the question is, can I just read through your thing there? Okay, so did we have any idea this was going to happen today? We had heard, some people that have some friends on the inside. This one I have already mentioned said he has a friend in Israel that is connected to the government, and they said, get out. If you need to get out of Israel, get out of Israel. You have a couple hours. Well, I got that at 2 a.m. I felt like a 6 a.m. flight was good. Obviously, it wasn't. We got to the airport. I think they must have just closed the airport. They said, all flights are canceled. Go back to your rental or your hotel. So that's all the notification we've gotten. We've not gotten anything from El Al, and that was our flight. It was supposed to be from Tel Aviv to Krakow at 6 a.m. Maybe I have that now. I don't know. And then we also got a text from my brother-in-law, and he's like, hey, I'm praying for you in Israel. So I called him, like, what do you know? And he's like, no, I just thought, watching the news, he hadn't seen that that Israel had to hit Iran, but he was just kind of given a general, hey, praying for you. So other than kind of those little clues, and yesterday we had heard that America was getting non-essentials out of the Middle Eastern embassies and bases. So we have James saying, praying for you for Israel's success and your safe return. Joe said, praying for all of you. What a time to be in Israel. Thanks, Joe. Mark said, did they attack? I'm guessing you're asking, did Iran attack? So as I understand it, Israel launched a preemptive attack on Iranian nuclear facilities and possibly some Iranian military personnel. That would make sense to me. That and others have. These are totally unconfirmed, but others have said that Israel went after the president of Iran. Again, I don't think that that's true. I don't know that Israel would do that, but hitting the nuclear enrichment facilities, any of the facilities that would be capable of not just enriching, but also putting it all together into an operable weapon, and maybe also hitting some of the ballistic missiles, because you have to have a combination, not just the warhead, but you have to have a delivery mechanism, which they have, but mating these together and all working at the same time. Israel knows all of this. They have great intelligence, and they were able to, I'm guessing, pinpoint surgical strikes. And a lot of these facilities in Iran have been buried deep in mountains and deep underground. And Israel has the capability with bunker busters and stuff to really pound that. Now, it's a long way from Israel to Iran. And so I don't know exactly how Israel has done it with refueling and things, but they are very capable. They're very smart. They have great intelligence. So I feel like Israel has done a great job with taking care of the problem. Now, I did hear that there was some sort of a missile fired at Israel. That's unconfirmed. I don't know that that's true or not. And there was an interception. I've heard that. I don't know that that's true. It wouldn't surprise me at all. It seems like that would be very logical. So John says, praying for you guys, stay safe. Peter says, pray for you and bless Israel. I love your prayers. Pray for Israel. I really feel the peace of God, and I think we need to pray for this country. We need to pray for the Jewish people, that they would recognize the Messiah, and that all of these tribulations, all of the anti-Semitism, all of the threats by its wicked neighbors would drive the Jewish people to God, to the one true God, and to salvation through the Messiah. Let's see, Kyle says, praying for you and the film crew. Oh, you're praying for the film crew? That's sweet of you. I guess I should be praying for them too. No, I'll just say this about, it's Paul Visquez and Gabe Sampson. They've been here for the last almost 2 weeks, and we have filmed, I think, at least 14, maybe 16 episodes, which is very common for our filming trips. We get a ton of content, and we go home, and we've actually released a few. Sergio and Rhoda is already on YouTube, and we released some other interviews with people here. But we get a ton of filming done. There's a lot of work involved behind the scenes. These guys, when we get home, they still have to dump everything down onto hard drives and get all the batteries recharged, get ready for the next day. And they work really hard on these trips. Yeah, it's fun to come to Israel, but it's not like a vacation at all. I would call it the opposite of a vacation. But they've done great. They're up at it's 4:59 now. So I know they woke up. I think they also heard sirens. You guys heard sirens here in Jerusalem? Did that wake you up? What woke you up?
Sirens first.
Okay, and then you got the phone alert too. Okay, so they had the same, basically the same thing. Amy says, oh, hold on. Yeah, Amy says, do you have any idea, did you have any idea this is going to happen today? And praying and hoping to see you home soon. And I think that's our daughter, Amy. So we thought it could happen. I thought it was going to be a few more days. Last night we were with some friends that are a part of the Shiloh Dig, and they said Sunday. I'm like, I don't know why you would think Sunday, or how would you even know that? So I really felt like this was going to happen. I was praying that we could be on our plane and our film crew could be on their plane. But for whatever reason, God has us here. I'm good with that. I really am. I want to be home. I want to be with everybody and our grandkids. But I don't, it's one of the, when it's out of your control, it's out of your control. And that's where you just have to trust and say, hey, God is good. God is in control. And we're going to do everything we can probably to leave. But, when the airport's closed, there's not a ton of options. So anyways, I am a private pilot, so maybe we'll rent an airplane. No, we probably can't do that. But I do have a friend with an airplane. But I'm guessing if the airspace is closed, then that's not even an option. Okay, so let's see. Another person said the Lord's protective wing covers you and Jerusalem. Hey, Jesus said that, that there's this protection, the wings of God. And Jesus even mentioned that, Jerusalem, Jerusalem. There's this city, this spot right behind me. And if you want to try to look out again, let me show you the sunrise again. So bring the camera off the tripod and just walk closer to we're on a balcony on the 14th floor. We're facing east, so you get the sunrise. Look at this sunrise. And seeing direction, that would be a little bit of Syria and then Iraq. Way in the distance, Iran falls back. And as we pan right, see some lights in Jordan, way out there. That would be Jordan. In the distance, you would see Jordan. I think I can see Amman, Jordan is just over there. And right in the center, I wish we could zoom in, but we're having trouble being able to zoom in for some reason. But that's the Dome of the Rock, the Golden Dome right there in the center of the shot. And then there's different steeples from churches in the Old City. That's all the Old City. Just past the Temple Mount is the Mount of Olives, and that's where Jesus ascended into heaven. That's where he's coming back. And I really think this is all connected to the end times. I really believe that what we're seeing today, when you turn on the news or you're reading the news on your social feeds, this is the end times coming together. We don't know how it's all going to happen. The Bible does say that there is a big attack that's going to be on Israel. Iran is part of that. Is this setting that up? We don't know. I again think Israel had to do what Israel did. Gabe, keep panning to the right and go ahead and pan down. This long street you see right below us, that is called Jaffa Street. Jaffa Street is a pedestrian street. They also have a light rail that runs on there. The light rail has been closed for several weeks, months, because they're doing upgrades. They're going further with it. And so you don't see that. Really, I don't see anybody on the street right now. Although when we were driving to the airport, we left around 2:30, and there were a lot of people out. And that was before we knew any of these things were happening. But right now you see that emergency motorcycle driving down there, and that's about it. It's kind of like pretty dead. I think everyone here in Israel is going to stay tight, stay home probably today, just to be, because we don't know what's going to happen next. But I